So a year ago, the Buffalo Bills, they won the division, and they were looking to repeat the division. Josh Allen wins an MVP, so finally silence the haters, wins the most valuable player award, 28 touchdowns plus another, I think, like 15 rushing touchdowns. He was on fire on both ends of the football. Bills looked really good overall. James Cook, 17 touchdowns last year. I think he had like 1,500 rushing yards. He was having a career year for the Bills. Unfortunately, fell short in the AFC Championship game against the Kansas City Chiefs. But 2025 kind of looks like a little bit of the upside here for Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. As we shift over to the offense here, they've revamped the receiving core. They acquired Amari Cooper late in the year last year. He's currently a free agent. They bring in Josh Palmer, who's a great possession guy, like an Amari Cooper. Elijah Moore comes in from the Browns. Laviska Shenault, another year. What can Laviska Shenault do? Can he make a team? Can he make some sound waves in this league? What can he do? But other than that, it's really a lot of the same guys. I mean, offensive line still there from Deion Dawkins to Spencer Brown. James Cook, is he going to report? Is he going to get a contract extension? Those are questions you have to ask as well. Ray Davis, Ty Johnson as the backups there. But yeah, that's all I got there. Dawson Knox, Dalton Kincaid. Gentlemen, this is just the same offense as last year. There's nothing really should change, so it should be another easy sailing year for them.
I love, and this has nothing to do with the team, I love that this website just takes some people's names and writes it in all caps. Like when I look at this depth chart and Mitchell Trubisky and Mike White is being yelled at me, it's funny. That's all I got. I don't know. The offense is going to be the same. I have no cool. You don't have Amari Cooper. You have guys that can still catch the ball and do a good job. Ultimately, they just need to have the same year. James Cook is really the only question mark, the only factor on this offense that should be any different, and that's if he's going to be there or not, and that's it. So,
I think he will be there. He'll just be a shut in, a close in, not a close out, a close in. So he'll be at the camp, so he won't get fined for not being there. So he's just gonna.
Yeah, but he needs to play. I'm talking about in games. You need him to play. He was a gigantic factor last year.
What do you mean? You got Frank Gore Jr., you got Ray Davis, you got Ty Johnson, Darrington Evans. You got a lot of guys. Reggie Gilliam. You got a lot of guys here.
But James Cook was a large factor last year. I mean, I felt like every night game.
I think he was more important than Josh Allen.
Yes, I think so too. And I think he is partially a reason why Josh Allen had such a great year, even on the ground, is because there are so many dimensions of this defense. I mean, you could have Dawson Knox, short route on this side, James Cook, wheel route, short route over here, or whatever. I mean, Amari Cooper, even you had depth on the offense. There was a lot to break down for every play for any defense. There's a lot of opportunity for anyone on this offense to shine at any given moment. And James Cook was a big part of that. I felt like every night game we watched, it was like James Cook touchdown after James Cook touchdown. Dynamic, catching the ball, running the ball. He was a gigantic part of the offense last year. And I think that is, again, I think the biggest factor here. This offense should be just as good as last year, if not better. And that's if James Cook plays from week one.
I mean, I really like the receiving core, though. It's really deep. Last year, it was like, okay, you got Keon Coleman. What else?
It is really deep, to be honest. I do like Elijah Moore being there, even as a deep part of the.
I like my Terrapin being there. Caden Prather. Go Terps.
Dude, I didn't see that name on here.
Third
receiver, top.
Oh, yeah. All right, ready? Defense.
Let's go to the defense here. We got to talk about the two elephants in the room there. Larry Ogunjobi, Michael Hoyt, suspended 6 games due to PEDs. So that automatically just eliminates some pass rushing help. But still, Greg Rousseau, Daquan Jones, Ed Oliver, they bring in Joey Bosa, who was cut by the Chargers this year. They draft Maxwell Hairston at the end of the first round in the draft this past year. Trey White returns to Buffalo after bouncing around the league for a little bit. Yeah, this is still a lot of the same for just a lot of the same on defense. They bring back in Dane Jackson, TJ Sanders, a second round pick. They have a lot of guys that they know, like, okay, we're going to be losing out on these guys. So let's kind of draft some young guys. These are 1 year guys, especially Ogunjobi and Bosa. So it really looks like this team wants to blitz the football from how deep they are on the defensive front, especially in that front four. So they do want to bring in a lot of pressure, it seems like.
I think that's cool. All the names and all the additions, all the stuff. But a lot of the factor guys from last year are still there. You have the Ed Oliver, you have Matt Milano, you have Epinesa. There's a lot of these guys are still there. So whatever happens with the suspensions and this and Joey Bosa, who knows, whatever, I don't know if it's incredibly that much of a factor. I don't know. Maybe after 6 games they get better because of those two dudes. I don't know. I really kind of think it'll be mostly the same. I don't think there's really any crazy, this team's going to be much worse, much better action happening. So I still think it's a team that's just going to do well against divisional opponents still. And when the division, they're going to be in a playoff spot. It is what it is. I don't really think there's much to say about the regular season for this team. That's it. I don't know.
I'm biting my tongue.
I don't got a lot else to say, but
I really don't think there is much to say, to be honest. Because
because it all just comes down to the fact that clown McDermott can't win games.
Yeah,
he's an overrated coach, and Josh Allen's going to get overhyped every year because he puts up insane stats, and if he doesn't turn the ball over, he'll have a good year. But then he will choke when it matters.
yeah, exactly.
You can okay, cool. You won your Super Bowl in whatever week 10, whatever it was when you played the Chiefs, and then you throw this. You don't see a full one-side blitz coming in the time when they're gonna blitz. You just throw up a prayer that doesn't have a chance. When this team will I don't think they're gonna get over that hump. I don't see it.
But analyzing this team, especially regular season, giving them the amount of wins, whatever, I think it's just whatever. When it comes time for it to matter down the stretch in January, that's all that really matters here.
Yeah. So
because they're going to win the division, usual stuff.
They're going to put up, 12 wins at a minimum. They're going to,
Yeah. You're going to hear about them all year. You're going to hear SportsCenter, pumping their tires, how they're the best team in the league, and then they'll lose 26-20 to the Chiefs.
Yep. I mean, that's ultimately, or the Bengals. That'd be sick. But
much better.
But ultimately, it's going to come down to that playoff game down the stretch after the regular season. I think that's ultimately just where we are with this team.
And it's not even like you can say oh, well, do what you can to be the 1 seed. Doesn't matter if you play in, in Buffalo or in Kansas City. Because
at least not the weather.
I'm not even talking about the weather. The result is the same.
Yeah, that's also true.
Let's look at the schedule for a quick second.
Yeah, go for it.
Big rematch. The Mark Andrews drop game, week 1. Big one there. But, man, playing 4 games in the first 5 weeks at home, I mean, that kind of kills off the Buffalo momentum where, okay, we have to have these guys come in. They're going to play in the cold. Yes, you have the Chiefs in week 9. You have the Buccaneers in week 11. Then you have the Bengals who return up to Buffalo again. And then it's the Eagles and the Jets. And by that point, it's okay, what, like the Eagles and the Bills, for example, what have you achieved so far in the season? The playoff select, cool. No Jalen, no Josh Allen. Here's Mike White and Mitch Trubisky. Have fun.
Maybe. I mean, there's enough. Did you count?
No, not yet.
It's going to be, it's 12 wins.
Yeah, I mean, that's how I feel.
I was going to make the point, it always seems like late in the year, Buffalo gets better because everyone has to come to their, cold stadium, and then the teams that are out of it, they don't want to play in there. So having that many front-loaded home games kind of sucks for them, but I don't think it really matters.
I think they're undefeated bye week. Cool. And then they obviously win against Carolina. And then they're like, oh, Chiefs, here's our Super Bowl. Honestly, they might lose that just because they've been undefeated.
You
And
see
it's
it.
like,
It's going to be 7-0, and the
Yeah.
Chiefs are probably going to be like 6-1. And it's gonna
Exactly.
be like, here we go. And I actually think the Bills will probably win that game because in
Okay.
the regular season, it's like, oh, we
Yeah.
lost them again. Here's our Super Bowl.
I think this is just going to be the season that we see from the Bills for the last few seasons. So, whatever. Again, I don't know really what else to say about this team.
I have nothing else to say
In an
about the team.
Analytical standpoint, which is what
And-
we're doing here on this
And then,
show, and
and then game plan wise, they're going to get smacked in the playoffs because McDermott's a clown.
that's pretty much that.